Hi there everyone, I'm Cherith. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be doing a food review for all of the included restaurants and dining venues aboard Harmony of the Seas. Now, not the specialty restaurants, just the included ones, the ones that everybody can eat at. My husband and I just returned from an 8-night and 9-day cruise out of Galveston. We went all the way across the Gulf East, past Florida, to the Bahamas, and we even enjoyed a day at Royal Caribbean's private island. So I'll include those restaurants since they are also included in your cruise fare. I love doing these videos. They're a lot of fun for me because I already have a YouTube channel where I share recipes, so I might as well do some travel videos because it helps us to remember highlights of our vacations. Now, I'm not a travel agent, I'm not associated with Royal in any way. I was just a passenger on Harmony, so I'll share my experience with you and hopefully it'll give you a good idea of the types of food you can get on your cruise. Now, most of Harmony sailings aren't going to include a trip to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, but I'm going to include that one just in case you're curious or if you're lucky enough to book one of those itineraries. I was able to visit and record 12 different dining options on Harmony, but because we were not in a suite, we only had a balcony cabin, I was not able to access Coastal Kitchen on deck 17. So if you're in a suite, you'll have one more dining option for your cruise. Let me start my food review. On the top of the ship, at the front of the ship, on deck 15, I believe, is the Solarium Bistro. Now, the solarium area itself is adults only, but the bistro, you can bring your kids with you. It is a buffet. You have to serve yourself. You get your own food. You get your own drinks. But it has kind of a different feel than the Windjammer does, in my opinion. And maybe that's because it's located in the solarium itself. It just seems to be less busy, less noisy. Not as crowded, it's just a little bit more of a relaxed environment. And my husband and I really enjoyed it. We were able to go a couple times for breakfast, a couple times at dinner. So I took these pictures and some footage of what the buffet area is like and the foods that you can expect. At breakfast, you'll find it very similar to what you would see in the Windjammer buffet. Some people call it a Windjammer light because there's not as many offerings. Obviously, it's a much smaller place. But I still think they do a really good job of giving you tons of options. There's going to be 2 or 3 kinds of eggs, 3 types of meat. There's going to be waffles and pancakes and croissants and muffins and donuts and all the pastries. And you can, of course, get like bagel and lox, cream cheese. And there's a lot of options for fruit. We really enjoyed our breakfasts in the Solarium Bistro. And I just think I'd rather go there than the Windjammer just because of the atmosphere. It's so much more calm. Now at dinner, you have to make a reservation. So at 6 p.m., we had made a reservation on the app before the cruise. This is what it looked like at 6 p.m. There was hardly anybody there. And maybe it's because they don't open until 6. Maybe people came later and it got more crowded. I don't know. But when we were there, it was very relaxed. We did not feel rushed. We didn't feel like, oh man, I've got to eat and move so someone else can use this table. We just didn't feel like that. It was very relaxing and I loved it. The lamb chop, oh my goodness, that was amazing. So you're going to have options like roasted chicken and there's going to be some sort of a fish entree, but the lamb, oh my word. It was probably the best meat we had on board. It was so good. The fruit. How do they choose fruit that is that sweet all the time? I don't know. It was pretty amazing to us. But anyway, if you go to the Solarium Bistro for dinner, make sure you have a reservation and then go and get that lamb chop. And I think you're going to love it. We loved it. We enjoyed the Solarium Bistro tremendously. Now on deck 8, you will find the Central Park. Central Park is this great open air kind of space, and it's just beautiful. It's loaded with greenery. So they have trees, plants, flowers. You can see all sorts of shrubs, just so cute. And you will find the Park Cafe, also an included or complimentary restaurant aboard Harmony of the Seas. They are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I do believe they close around 6 p.m. Be sure to check the app and you will find the hours that it's open. But we enjoyed it once or twice for breakfast, like a quick kind of breakfast. We went in once at lunch to grab something, and we just thought, yeah, this is a pretty good option because it's just it's not very crowded. The service is fast. And they have some grab and go things, which we really appreciated. If you just want to get like a cup of fruit and take it with you, pop into Park Cafe, grab a cup of fruit, grab a thing of yogurt and granola, and you can be on your way. We enjoyed a little breakfast sandwich. They've got these cute little breakfast burritos, and they're tiny. But they're really good. My husband and I both really like those. They were not what we expected. The flavor was different, but we did enjoy it. I think they put mozzarella in there. And they will heat up your cinnamon roll for you if you ask them to. So, okay, the bagel was all right. I mean, I thought it was a little bit dry, actually. And the breakfast sandwich, we liked the egg and the ham and the cheese, but the English muffin was a little bit overcooked. But overall, it was a good place to try for breakfast, especially if you want it really quick. Now for lunch, they have this Royal Kummelweck sandwich, and I think they're pretty famous for it. It's going to be a giant slab of roast beef that they're going to carve right in front of you, and then they will load that meat onto a bun, and the bun usually will have mustard on it as well as some horseradish. I mean, you can customize that if you want to, but they put the au jus on it, and wow, that is a good sandwich. There's an option for you if you would like to grab a sandwich at lunch. Now, we also noticed their build your own salad bar kind of thing. I mean, you tell them and they build it for you, but that was a great option. They have the grilled chicken and the boiled eggs for that salad. So we really liked that option. They also have those grab and go sandwiches in the coolers. And if you ask them to, they've got this panini maker back there, and they will grill any of those sandwiches. You just choose your sandwich, hand it to them, and they'll grill it for you, and you can have a panini on your hands. I would recommend that you visit the condiment station, like the mayo, the mustard, because their sandwiches and wraps, they don't have any kind of dressing on them. We found them to be a little bit dry, and much better if you add the condiments. If you make your way across the promenade deck and then up to deck 6, you will find the Vitality Spa and Cafe. And I'm going to include this spot in this video because they do have things that are available for anybody on board, and they are included in your cruise fare. Most people go there because that is a place that you can get the Starbucks coffee, not the Starbucks that's in the Starbucks store, but the Starbucks brand coffee that's served on the ship. You can get those at the Vitality Spa and Cafe, but that's if you have a refreshment package. Anybody can get their banana bread and their granola bar. So they have those available. Anytime that place is open, you can stop in for the banana bread. It's very good. I really like the banana bread. Now on deck 5, which is the promenade deck, you can stop in at the Cafe Promenade pretty much any time. I think they're open all the time. They have the self-serve coffee station. I made some hot teas there a couple of times. And they also have this little refrigerated cooler. You can look in there and tell them, hey, I want a sandwich, a cookie, a piece of fruit, a slice of cake, that kind of thing. They have different options each day. Several of the things that we tried from the Cafe Promenade were very good. The cookies are always good. Anything that's a pound cake, I liked. The only thing I tried there that I didn't like was the carrot cake itself. I didn't care for that. Across from the Cafe Promenade, or kind of catty corner to it, is Sorrento's Pizza. And that place is always busy. And that's for a good reason, because they have really good pizza. And I mean, this is, when I say really good pizza, I mean, it's a good pizza for an included meal on the ship. This is a solid choice. This is something similar to what you might, find at the mall or at the airport or something like that. It's a good slice of pizza. They call it a New York style because it's a thin crust, and they have different varieties of pizza each day. I think they always have a cheese and a pepperoni, but the other kinds of pizza will rotate throughout your cruise. I really enjoyed the Primavera. That was probably my favorite. And they do have gluten-free pies available upon request. It takes about 20 minutes for them to make one for you. Now, if you're on the Boardwalk, you will find the Doghouse. This is where you can grab a hot dog. They'll have 3 or 4 kinds of hot dogs that you can choose from, like a regular beef, or there's a bratwurst or a Polish sausage or something like that. And there's a condiment station. You can keep it simple. You can add grilled onions, sauerkraut. They have potato salad, coleslaw. And we just thought it was a good hot dog. I mean, it was pretty simple. It was a good hot dog, but so that's available. We did notice that it was not open a lot of the time when we were there, so you might just look at the hours of operation. Further down the boardwalk is Johnny Rockets. And the reason I'm including that in this video is because for breakfast, it is included. Lunch and dinner, those are an upcharge, but the breakfasts are included. Now, they do have some premium specials in that red section on that menu, and that's an upcharge, but most of the breakfast items are included in your cruise fare. I enjoyed the BELT, the bacon, egg, lettuce, and tomato. I would suggest you order an extra side of bacon, though, because there's not a lot of bacon on that sandwich. My husband enjoyed his. He had like the American breakfast with the fried eggs and the toast and all that. I got a scramble one time. We went twice, and that was very good. Now, if you do have a refreshment package, just know that the shakes from Johnny Rockets are included in your refreshment package. I went a couple of different times and enjoyed a cookies and cream shake. That was super yummy. All right, up on the pool deck, you have Mini Bites. Okay, Mini Bites is great. We had sailed last year on Mariner. Mariner does not have Mini Bites, so I didn't even know this was going to be up there. I loved it. I thought it was really cute. Like, it's a really convenient place to have, because it's up there by the sports deck and the sports courts and the pool deck and whatever. So if you want to just go and grab some nachos or some quesadillas, or just make yourself a taco with those flour tortillas there, they have this little buffet there with all the fixings. They have grilled chicken, grilled steak, so it's like fajita chicken and fajita steak, and then the pork carnitas. And we really liked the chicken and the carnitas. Those were our favorite. There's nothing wrong with the steak. It's just that the chicken was really good, and I really love pork carnitas. So anyway, we had those for a snack. They do have rice and beans. I didn't even try them. The cheese dip was good on the chips. And then they have quesadillas, just plain cheese quesadillas, and the grilled chicken and cheese quesadillas. If you're up on the pool deck and you don't want to, change clothes or go into the buffet or whatever, that's a great option for a snack. They also have this dessert case as well as some fruit in there. We tried a bite of pretty much everything there, and we like the chocolate bar. I really like that pistachio cake. I thought that was great, but we didn't really care for the other things. The fruit was good. The soft serve, it's included in your cruise fare. So I have to mention that in my videos because, yeah, they're just so small and so cute, and you can eat several of those a day and just never get enough. All right, this next one, I wanted to mention this because I don't think a lot of people know. You can get a complimentary included breakfast if you order room service. And y'all, this is a good idea. You'll have to, with a pen or pencil, fill this out put a number next to like 2 croissants, if you want 2 croissants, and then hang it on your doorknob outside your stateroom the night before you want it delivered. But I was very impressed at the room service continental breakfast. I thought it was fantastic. We ordered this one day when we were going to be in port, and we wanted to eat something pretty quickly before we were having to leave the boat because we had a tour scheduled and we wanted to be on time. Anyway, they said order it for at least an hour before you really need it because they're going to be busy. Everybody else is going to be doing the same thing. Let me tell you, they delivered this 30 minutes early. They were on top of it. It was pretty great. We ordered like a bagel, a English muffin. They came warm. They were still warm when I opened up that napkin. And oh my goodness, y'all, there was so much food. We plowed through it, okay? But yeah, if you order half and half for your tea or your coffee, just know it's going to come in those glasses. So I ordered 4 half and halves thinking they would be those little tiny things that you peel the lid off of and pour in your coffee. No, they're in a glass. That was a lot of half and half, I'll just say that. Overall, we were super pleased with our breakfast that we got delivered room service. And this is continental breakfast, so it's included. Now, if you want something like bacon or eggs, that's an upcharge. But this is not. This is just included in your cruise fare. We loved the chocolate donut. The blueberry muffin was so good. I think if we did it again, we would probably order 2 fruit plates because the fruit is so good. I ordered enough fruit because I knew I wanted to put some in my granola and yogurt, and then we just love fruit. So anyway, that was a really nice breakfast. Bravo to the Royal Caribbean bakers. Those blueberry muffins are fantastic. All right, one day when we were at Perfect Day at Coco Cay, we were able to experience food on the island because if your cruise includes a day there, the food is included as well. And if you have a drink package on board, it works on the island. We loved this place. I've never been here before. It was our first time. We loved it. And it was a bigger island than we thought. We were thankful they had that tram service. We used that tram service 3 or 4 times just getting from point A to point B. There's maybe 3 or 4 different beaches to visit. Oh yeah, and they drive on the other side of the road that I'm used to in America. So yeah, you might look both ways before you cross the path. We started out at South Beach and we ended up at Chill Beach. And I think there's a Hideaway Beach or something like that in between. There's so many things to do on this island. If you want to do something other than just, be in the ocean and lay in the sun, there's plenty things to do. You can rent a cabana and have concierge service and stuff like that. That's an extra charge. This is just included. Like we just found a chair and an umbrella. This is all included. There are these snack shacks on the island, these bright yellow buildings. And those can get super busy, but there are off times and you can order anything on their menu. And also they have a secret menu chicken sandwich that we ordered as well, and we loved it. So this food on the island, we really liked it. The chicken sandwich was fantastic. The secret chicken sandwich was delicious. They had a Greek salad. The funnel cake at Snack Shack, so good. Really good. We loved it. We loved eating at those little picnic tables. We had such a good time. There's a giant pool in the middle of the island. It might be like the biggest pool in all of the Bahamas. I don't know. It's so big. And we visited there just to take pictures, really. It was so crowded, but there was a giant swim-up bar there. There's also an enormous buffet called the Chill Grill. Now, this buffet, I learned from one of the servers on the ship. This buffet is manned mostly by the workers that actually live on the island. They live there, they have dormitories. But also there are some of the crew that come off the ship and help with the buffet when they're there. There were burgers, hot dogs, barbecue chicken, sandwiches, salads, tacos, corn on the cob. There was so much food there. What I was really impressed by was the tortilla guy. He was really sweet. They have this fantastic tortilla machine, and he's just constantly putting in those dough balls, and they're cranking out these homemade flour tortillas all the time. I was able to have a couple of different tacos, and golly, so tasty. I don't think it's just me, because I talked to a couple of other people about this. How come the food on the island is better than the food on the ship? I don't know. We just thought it was really good. Maybe it's those homemade tortillas that they're making constantly. I don't know. I really like their salsa, and the pico de gallo was great. The guacamole was fresh. All of it was super good. I was only there for, lunch, really, because we ate breakfast on board and we ate dinner back on the ship. So I was only able to eat so much food when I was there, but I really, really enjoyed it. If you don't want a burger or a hot dog or a taco, they do have these sandwiches here. They seemed nice. They looked good. I didn't taste any of them, but they looked good. But yeah, the Chill Grill, that buffet, that's a great place to visit, especially if you want the tacos. That's the only place they had the tacos. They had the burgers at the Snack Shack, but the Chill Grill was the only place with the tacos. They also had a bar there. If you're anywhere near the Chill Grill on the island, which you're probably going to be near it, and if not, you're going to hop on a tram and get to it. I would recommend you try the Chill Grill. And I'm telling you, the cantaloupe was the best thing. I like cantaloupe anyway, but they had like the sweetest cantaloupe on that island. And there's those Royal Caribbean cookies. There are several bars on the island. They're kind of scattered here and there. And like I said, if you have a refreshment package on board, it works on the island. I had a refreshment package because I had onboard credit in my account somehow. Anyway, so I had a refreshment package and I used it on the island, and it was pretty great. So if you want to play sports, they have so many options for you. There's basketball, volleyball, pickleball. These sweet young men, they let me film them playing the cornhole. They were so nice. Anyway, you can be busy if you want to be busy on the island. Or you could just float in the Caribbean Sea like we did. We had a ball floating in that sea. There's a sandbar that's out, 50 yards or so. And oh my goodness, that was just so relaxing. We loved it so much. It's a beautiful island. If you have a chance to go to this perfect day, take it. It's just gorgeous. It's relaxing. It can be fun. You can wear yourself out doing all the things, or you could just lay on the beach or float in the ocean. It's a really, really fun day. I'm glad we had an opportunity to do that. All right, now we're back on board. Of course, you can always visit the main dining room. It's open breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have an entire video dedicated to a food review of the main dining room dinners. I will link to that below. But you can also enjoy breakfast and lunch in the main dining room. Now, you're not going to have the same table. It's first come, first served, so you'll be seated at a different table and you'll have different wait staff each time you go. But they are still fantastic. We found all of the wait staff just to be quite accommodating to our needs, very kind, very helpful. We enjoyed our time in the main dining room, no matter if it was breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Now at lunch, it seems like they have different menus each day at lunch. I took a picture of like 3 of them. They have yummy things at lunch. We really liked the mozzarella sticks, the Caesar salad. The wedge salad was okay. That lamb pita was very good. I loved it. My husband did enjoy his steak, and our friends that sat next to us, they had that crispy chicken sandwich. That looked amazing. The salmon they serve in the main dining room, it's consistently good. They don't overcook it. Really yummy. And the royal chocolate cake is our #1 recommendation for dessert in the main dining room at lunch. If they have the royal chocolate cake on that menu, I do suggest you get it. I saw this model of the ship and I just thought I was fascinated by it. So cool. All right. I have to mention the Windjammer Cafe. The Windjammer is the buffet, and it is up on deck 16 at the back of the ship. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And boy, oh boy, do they do a great job of feeding the masses. I think there were 6,100 passengers on our sailing alone. They're cranking out food for thousands of guests. And you know what? They're doing a pretty good job doing it. We were able to eat in the Windjammer Cafe a couple of different breakfasts. I went in and filmed a couple of different dinners. So I think they have a different menu each time. And some of the friendliest workers, I mean, just look at those smiling faces. So sweet. Anyway, I was able to film a couple of different breakfasts and then a couple of different dinners. And there's just so much going on. I think anybody can find something that they like in the Windjammer buffet. The cinnamon rolls were kind of new to me. I don't remember having cinnamon rolls on another cruise. So whoever decided to start that, good job. I love a cinnamon roll. Once again, such beautiful fruit. We loved the fruit we had in the Windjammer. And like many other places, there is a bar inside the Windjammer. And if you have a refreshment package, you can get fresh squeezed orange juice for your breakfast, which I did a couple of times and really enjoyed it. We love the omelet station. My husband got a custom omelet each time he went. I think that's where the Windjammer shines, is in the custom stations. You can get a custom omelet at breakfast. They'll give you a little pager and it'll just beep whenever yours is ready. They also have custom stations at lunch and at dinner as well. One of the lunches that I went to film, they had a custom station for, I think, pasta. They have meat carving stations and different types of meat. I went and filmed on Italian night, and the lasagna in the Windjammer looked a lot like the lasagna I ended up eating in the main dining room that night. So I bet they're using the same recipe. Each night they have a theme, and so you'll find several entrees with that theme, like Italian night. They also had an Indian night, and all of those curries looked amazing. I think they have Indian dishes pretty much every night in the Windjammer, and every single one of those that I tried was delicious. I loved the Indian food on Harmony. And the desserts also, I mean, the desserts just, first of all, don't they just look beautiful? Some of them, we just thought, wow, those are really, really good. Not all of them, but some of them, I mean, we just were really impressed. I was able to film this young man making a dish for someone, and I think that might be how you get the very best meal, is if you just say to the chef, make me something you think is delicious, and just let them go and eat whatever they give you. But doesn't that look divine? Oh my word. Thank you to the gentleman who let me film that and take that picture. But yeah, if you would like to have a custom pasta made, you've got lots of possibilities. You read it right there.
There's also an ice cream station in the Windjammer buffet. I believe they had vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. So if you want the scoop type of ice cream instead of the soft serve yogurt, that's where you would go. They have toppings. You could always put some chocolate sauce on there. So just look at all this food. I mean, if you leave hungry, I think that's probably your fault because there's something for everybody in the Windjammer. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me for this food review of all of the included restaurants aboard Harmony of the Seas. I hope this is helpful to you. If you don't mind, hit the like button, and that will help the YouTube algorithm know that it's a good video that they could offer to other people who might also find it helpful. I know that taste is very subjective, but to me, I just thought it was a wonderful cruise with lots of good options that were included in my cruise fare. I didn't feel like I had to pay for a specialty restaurant to have a good meal. I think there are enough complimentary options to where, yeah, everybody can find something that they like, including the type of atmosphere that you like. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're planning a cruise on Harmony, I hope you just have a wonderful time. Leave me a comment below or feel free to ask any questions and I'll help you out if I can. All right, God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day and happy cruising.